Are you tired of being in the same old rank in Overwatch 2?
What the hell?
Do you want to finally climb to Diamond and unlock a whole new level of gameplay? Well, you're in luck, because today we're going to reveal the top secret, yet surprisingly simple, strategies that players use to reach Diamond in Overwatch 2. Now, this first tip is actually kind of a matter of preference, but I personally think that this is the easiest way to get to Diamond. This is the way that I use myself. Play as tank. Just learn how to play tank. I know not everybody's up for this one, but if you play tank instead of DPS or support, you'll end up having a lot more influence over the game and actually be able to carry yourself to Diamond rather than hoping for good teammates. Of course, you'll still always get the occasional throat teammate who ruins the game, but being tank gives you a lot more control over the game in general. The second tip that we want to emphasize is the importance of teamwork. Overwatch 2 is a game where individual skill can only take you so far. You need to communicate and coordinate with your team to achieve your objectives. This is where positioning comes into play. When playing with your team, you should always try to stay close to them, except for when you're playing a flanking DPS hero. Sticking together not only makes it easier to coordinate your attacks, but it also makes it harder for the enemy team to take you down one by one. That brings us to our next tip, which is communication. Turning on your mic and talking with your team will win you way more games than you think. Even if you're not a natural communicator, like personally sometimes I just like to go in a game and just chill, I don't really want to talk, save that for a quick play, or save that for the role that you're worst at. Because just letting your team know when an enemy hero is low on health or when you need to call for help can make all the difference. Not only does it help with coordination, but it also creates a more positive and cohesive team dynamic. The fourth tip that we're going to talk about is to pick a main hero or two to specialize in. Getting extremely good with one or two heroes is better than being mediocre with all of them. This will give you a better understanding of your hero's strengths and weaknesses and allow you to make more effective plays in game. Next, it's important to learn the maps. Knowing where the health packs are and where flank routes are can give you a huge advantage in battles. You'll be able to take out enemies more efficiently and avoid getting taken out yourself. When you're low health in the middle of a fight, sometimes your supports can't always get to you. In those situations, it's really helpful to know what are your escape routes, where are the health packs, how can I save myself without having to rely on the rest of my team. Furthermore, do not underestimate the power of sound. Turning up your volume and paying attention to in-game sounds can give you valuable information about what's going on around you. Whether it's the sound of an enemy ult,
no one can hide from my sight,
or the footsteps of a flanking hero. Yeah, there we go! Ryan Discord. This information can help you make better decisions in-game and give you an edge over your opponents. I know personally when I'll listen to music or when I have my volume down, I'll often get caught off guard by people behind me because I didn't hear them, or there will be an enemy ult going on and I had no clue because I was listening to music or I couldn't hear them. So just turn on your sound or turn down your music, whichever one works for you. Now, our seventh and final tip is going to be counter picking. Remember when I said that it's ideal to have two mains? These mains should not be heroes with similar playstyles. This is so that you can counter pick. Counter picking is when one team has a hero that is doing well against you and you change to be a hero that has abilities that are stronger against that opponent. Here's a good example. Let's say your opponent is playing Pharah and you're playing Junkrat. Pharah is going to counter you because you'll have a hard time hitting her with your short range heavy projectiles. To help your team out, you might go back into spawn and swap to a Pharah counter, like Widowmaker or Cassidy, who have an easier time taking her out. Now, this applies to all roles. Pretty much every hero in the game has multiple counters. This is the kind of thing that you should go on YouTube and look at some lists of counters, or you'll just figure it out over time with experimentation, playing different heroes and seeing who works well against who. But in conclusion, reaching Diamond in Overwatch 2 takes more than just individual skill. It requires communication, coordination, and a willingness to work with your team. So, take these tips to heart, practice, and most importantly, have fun. If you want to see how I got to Diamond, here is a video of me playing Wrecking Ball for 10 hours and pushing to Diamond myself.